June 6, 1944, 6:47 a.m., Omaha Beach, Dog Green Sector. Combat Medic Robert Wright crouched in a trench, alone. 127 Wehrmacht soldiers advancing, 400 yards out, closing fast. Wright had one M1911 pistol, 7 rounds, no rifle, no grenades, no backup. Everyone said medics stayed behind lines, protected by Geneva Convention. Red Cross armband meant safety. Standard doctrine since 1864. They were wrong. Wehrmacht snipers had orders: shoot medics first, disrupt American aid, cause panic, bleed. It's dry. Wright knew this. Saw 3 medics killed that morning. Red Cross made perfect target. Germans expected wounded Americans, defenseless positions, easy advance. They had no idea one medic had decided wounded came before doctrine. Had decided 7 rounds beat 127 soldiers if used correctly. Had decided dying ground was worth holding. This mathematics would kill them. Before Wright, German counterattacks overran aid stations. Medics died treating wounded. Casualties evacuated under fire or left behind. After Wright, one trench held for 4 hours. 23 wounded soldiers evacuated safely. German company stopped cold. Battlefield medicine changed in Normandy. How did one medic with 7 bullets hold position against company-strength attack? The answer wasn't in weapon, it was in position. Trench junction, 12 feet deep, stone wall behind, perfect choke point, 30-degree approach angle, narrow field of fire. Germans expected standard defense, machine guns. Artillery support. They expected someone trying to survive. Wright wasn't trying to survive, he was buying time. But first, those 23 wounded soldiers needed 4 hours he didn't have, and 127 Germans wouldn't wait. June 1944, Normandy invasion hung by thread. D-Day plan required securing beaches in 6 hours, pushing inland 5 miles by nightfall. Linking with airborne units by dawn June 7th. Reality carnage. Omaha Beach alone, 2,400 American casualties first 4 hours, 10 times projected losses. 1st Infantry Division pinned down, 29th Infantry Division shattered, Ranger units isolated, aid stations overwhelmed. Standard evacuation doctrine, wounded moved to beach for boat transport, 15-minute carry time. Medics worked at collection points 200 yards behind front lines. Problem: no front lines existed. Germans held high ground, counterattacked constantly. Aid stations became targets. June 6, 6:07:00 a.m., 7 battalion aid stations overrun, 12 medics killed, 43 wounded captured or killed in place. Pattern accelerating. Germans learned where wounded concentrated, attacked those positions. Killed defenders and patients simultaneously. Battalion commanders kept saying, "Pull aid stations back, too exposed, wait for secured positions." But wounded couldn't wait. Arterial bleeding killed in 3 minutes, sucking chest wounds in 5. Abdominal trauma in 10. Men died waiting for secured positions that never came. Medical doctrine seemed logical. Geneva Convention 1929, medical personnel marked with Red Cross were non-combatants, protected status, not to be targeted. Made sense, allowed medics to work openly, move between positions. Treat wounded from both sides. Problem: Wehrmacht ignored convention. German snipers received specific orders from shoot medics first. Logic brutal but effective. Kill medic, wounded die untreated. Wounded die, unit morale collapses. Morale collapses, unit effectiveness drops 40%. Effectiveness drops, breakthrough possible. American attempts to counter. Attempt 1, heavily armed medical teams. Result, Geneva Convention violations, problems with Red Cross discontinued. Attempt 2, camouflaged aid stations. Result, own troops couldn't find them. 9 soldiers bled out searching for aid. Attempt 3, combat troops guarding medics. Result, reduced frontline strength. German attacks succeeded where defenders pulled back. June 6 statistics. 1st Infantry Division lost 14 medics killed, 23 wounded in first 8 hours. 60% casualty rate, higher than infantry. Red Cross armband became death sentence, but removing it meant violating convention. Court-martial offense. Catch-22. Wear it and die, remove it and face prosecution. Medics died either way. June 4, 1944. Pre-invasion briefing. USS Samuel Chase troop transport. Lieutenant Colonel John, battalion surgeon, addressing medical personnel. Had 23 years service. West Point, medical school, 3 combat deployments. Believed protocol saved lives. He stated, medical personnel will maintain Red Cross identification at all times. Geneva Convention protections apply. German Army is professional force. They will respect medical neutrality. Combat Medic Robert Wright raised hand. Asked question, Sir, intelligence reports indicate Wehrmacht shooting marked medics. Should we take defensive positions? His face hardened. He replied, that is enemy propaganda. German military follows international law. Your job is treating wounded, not combat operations. Any medic found carrying weapons beyond sidearm for self-defense will face charges. Wright tried explaining, French resistance reports, British intelligence. Captured German orders specifically targeting medics. Cut him off. I will not have my medical personnel acting as combatants. This discussion is over. You will wear your Red Cross armband. You will follow doctrine. That is an order. Briefing ended. Wright saluted, said nothing. But that night Wright modified his armband, made it removable, Velcro instead of sewn. Could strip it off in 2 seconds. Also checked his M1911. Full magazine, 1 in chamber, 8 rounds total. Doctrine said self-defense only. Wright defined self-defense broadly. June 6, 1944, 5:32 a.m. That's when Thomas Michael died. Was from San Francisco, 19 years old, engineering student before war. He and Wright trained together at camp, same barracks. Called Wright Doc, even though Wright wasn't doctor. They hit beach together at 5:20 a.m. MG-42 fire swept landing craft ramp, took 3 rounds, chest, abdomen, thigh. Wright dragged behind Czech Hedgehog, started treatment, pressure bandages, morphine, plasma. Size still focused, he said, Doc, am I going to make it? Wright lied, you'll be fine. Boat in 10 minutes. Then the sound, high-velocity rifle crack, different from MG-42, more precise, closer. Round hit Wright's shoulder, went through Red Cross armband, grazed skin, 2 inches lower would have hit heart. Wright looked up, German sniper church steeple, 200 yards, reloading. Wright grabbed, started dragging toward. Second shot hit in head. He died instantly. Wright felt the warmth leaves hand, happened fast. 20 seconds maybe, body temperature dropped, muscles went slack. That moment stayed with Wright. How fast living became dead. How holding someone's hand while they crossed over felt exactly like holding warm stone. Found's dog tags later, crucifix attached, Catholic. Wright kept them. German sniper fired 4 more times that morning, hit 2 more medics, both killed. All wearing Red Cross armbands. All following doctrine. Wright ripped his armband off, stuffed it in pocket. 3 hours later, Germans launched counterattack. Wright was in wrong place, or right place, depending on mathematics. 6:15 a.m. Company pushed inland 300 yards from beach. Found trench system. German defensive position abandoned during initial bombardment. Wright established aid station in trench junction, 12 feet deep, stone wall on east side, German construction, solid, professional. 23 wounded soldiers. Various conditions, 7 arterial bleeding critical, 9 shrapnel wounds serious, 5 fractures moderate, 2 shock cases stabilizing. Wright worked fast. Tourniquets, pressure bandages, plasma, morphine, sulfa powder. Triage based on survivability. Save who you could, make comfortable who you couldn't, hard mathematics. Around 6:40 a.m., rifle fire increased, Germans counterattacking, standard tactic, let Americans advance, then hit them. Lieutenant Davis, platoon leader, appeared at trench, face bloody, arm dangling. Said Germans coming. Company strength, maybe 150 men, were falling back to beach, get your wounded moving. Wright looked at 23 patients, 7 critical, couldn't be moved without killing them, arterial wounds, moving meant bleeding out in 2 minutes. Said these men can't move, they'll die. Davis replied, then leave them, that's an order, German medics will treat them. Wright thought about sniper shooting through Red Cross armband. Said Germans aren't taking prisoners, not today. Davis, that's not your decision, move or I'll have you court-martialed. Wright, court-martial me after we survive. Davis stared, then nodded, said, you've got 10 minutes before Germans arrive, after that you're on your own. Left. Took mobile troops with him. Wright stood alone in trench. 23 wounded men, most unconscious, some delirious. 3 could hold rifles but couldn't aim. Wright had M1911 pistol, 7 rounds, 1 fired at beach, magazine not replaced, 2 morphine syrettes, 4 pressure bandages, 1 crucifix. No rifle, no grenades, no radio. No reinforcements coming. But Wright had geography. He studied trench junction, realized something. Trenches converged from 3 directions, north, west, south, junction point where Wright stood. But north trench curved, 30-degree approach angle, only 3-foot width at narrowest point, stone walls both sides. Anyone advancing through north trench had to move single file, width limitation. Expose themselves at curve, line of sight. Enter junction completely before seeing defender position, angle. Wright had been hunting deer in Montana since age 12, understood choke points, understood ambush geometry, understood how terrain channeled prey into kill zones. This was same principle, different prey. Germans would expect defenders in open positions, rifle pits, machine gun nests. Standard defensive setup. They wouldn't expect medic in trench junction, pistol only, waiting. Wright checked his M1911, 7 rounds, did mathematics. 127 Germans divided by 7 rounds equals 18 Germans per bullet. Numbers didn't work, unless Germans made mistakes, unless Wright made 0 mistakes. Unless physics and psychology aligned perfectly. The pistol problem, accuracy versus volume of fire. M1911 specifications, effective range 50 yards, practical combat range 25 yards, magazine capacity 7 rounds, muzzle velocity 830 feet per second, stopping power 0.45 ACP 230 grain. Compared to German 98K rifle, effective range 500 yards, magazine capacity 5 rounds. Muzzle velocity 2,500 feet per second. On paper, rifle wins every time. But paper assumed open ground, long sight lines, distance engagement. Wright's trench junction changed everything. North trench approach, straight section 60 yards, curve section 15 yards, narrow section 8 yards at 3-foot width. Junction exposure, 4 feet before defender position visible. Sight line from defender position, 12 yards maximum before curve blocked view. This meant attacker emerged from curve at 12 yards, 4 feet of exposure before seeing defender. Defender had first shot advantage. Range, 12 yards equals 36 feet. M1911 at 36 feet, 100% hit probability on torso, 85% hit probability on head. Near certain kill with center mass shot. 98K at 36 feet, bolt action rifle. 1 shot then 1.5 second bolt cycle. Time for right to fire 0.3 seconds. Kill target instant. Acquire next target 0.5 seconds. Fire again 0.3 seconds. Total 1.1 seconds for right to kill 2 targets before second attacker could cycle bolt. But this required perfect execution. First shot must kill instantly, no wounded returning fire. Target acquisition must be immediate. No hesitation between shots. No misses, 7 rounds total, no reloads. Psychology factor. German soldiers trained for open field assault. Coordinated fire and maneuver. Overwhelming firepower advantage. German soldiers not trained for single-file trench fighting. Watching comrades die invisibly around corner. Psychological pressure of unseen enemy. Continuing assault after 20% casualties with no targets visible. Wehrmacht doctrine 1944. Assault continues until 30% casualties, then units withdraw to reorganize. Standard tactical doctrine prevents unit destruction. Wright's calculation. 127 Germans equals roughly company strength equals 3 platoons. 30% casualties equals 38 men. If first assault wave took 38 casualties entering trench, German doctrine required pullback. Wright had 7 rounds. Needed 38 casualties. Mathematics failed. Unless Germans used same approach repeatedly. Didn't adapt tactics, followed doctrine, kept feeding single file into kill zone. Then 7 rounds could cause psychological casualties far exceeding physical casualties. Panic, confusion, unseen threat, bodies piling at curve, no one wanting to be next around corner. Information asymmetry again. Germans would see bodies at trench curve, no muzzle flash visible, no target to shoot. Death from unknown position. Wright would see targets emerging exactly where expected, restricted movement, predictable behavior. Same tactic Montanans used for bears in narrow valleys. Channel, wait, strike when exposed, let terrain do half the work. Wright positioned himself. East side of junction, behind stone corner. 90-degree angle to north trench approach. Stacked sandbags for firing rest. Height 4 feet, gave stable shooting platform, minimized exposure. Removed everything reflective. Watch glass caught light. Dog tags metal clinked. Helmet too visible restricted hearing. Kept M1911 pistol. Crucifix left pocket. Morphine cigarettes right pocket. Tested sight line. Leaned out, saw curve. 12 yards. Could see boots appearing before bodies. Half-second warning. Tested trigger pull. 5.5 pounds smooth. No creep, sights aligned. The smell hit hardest. Cordite from beach, mixed with something else. Copper, blood soaking into French soil. Wright's hands steady. Surgeon steady, trained for this. Different context but same principle, precision under pressure. Sound distant rifle fire. Getting closer, boots on ground, many boots. German boots had different rhythm than American. Hobnails on stone, harder impact, metallic ring. Wright counted rhythm, estimated distance, maybe 200 yards out, closing. Checked wounded behind him, most unconscious, 3 conscious but delirious, 1 watching right, corporal leg wound. Morphine wearing off. Whispered, "Doc, you should run." Wright, "Can't run, you can't move." "I'm already dead, save yourself." Wright, "Nobody's dead until I say so." Smiled weak, said, "You're a terrible liar, Doc." Wright smiled back, said, "That's why I'm good medic." Stone wall felt cold through his shirt, temperature dropping, cloud cover, rain coming. Made everything worse. Wright thought about warmth leaving hand, about 20 seconds between living and dead. Thought about mathematics, 7 rounds, 127 Germans. Thought about Montana, about bears in narrow valleys, about how predator became prey when terrain shifted. German voices now, 100 yards maybe, commands in German, forward. Schnell, quickly. Wright's heartbeat, 72 BPM, resting rate, surgeon hands, combat medic nerves. He thumbed safety off, double action trigger, first shot would be harder pull, 10 pounds versus 5.5. Compensated mentally, first shot aim low, anticipate rise. Boots appeared at curve, German boots, hobnails catching light, 12 yards out, moving fast, no hesitation, they expected abandoned trench. Empty junction, American withdrawal. They expected wrong things. 6:47 a.m. First German emerged from curve. Corporal rank, MP40 gun, moving fast, eyes forward, didn't look right toward Wright's position. Fatal mistake. Wright fired. Range 12 yards, 36 feet. Round hit center mass, dropped. MP40 clattered on stone. 2 seconds silence. Then shouting from around curve, "Sniper, cover." Wrong assessment, not sniper, much worse. Second German, more cautious, peeked around curve, saw body, looked for source. Wright fired. Headshot 12 yards, target dropped. Now panic spreading behind curve. Germans couldn't see shooter position, saw only comrades dying. Textbook unknown threat response, confusion before discipline. Third German tried different approach, threw stick grenade around curve first, Model 24, 4-second fuse. Grenade landed in junction, 8 feet from Wright. Wright didn't move, watched it, waited. Explosion, shrapnel hit stone wall, missed Wright by 3 feet. Sandbags absorbed fragments. Smoke cleared. Fourth German charged through smoke, expected Wright wounded or dead from grenade. Standard assault doctrine, suppress then advance. Wright fired. Caught him mid-stride, center mass, dropped instantly. 3 rounds expended, 4 Germans down. Fourth round, German tried grenades again. 2 grenades, simultaneous throws. Better tactic. Both landed near Wright. He rolled left behind stone corner, full cover. Explosions loud close, ears ringing. But German made mistake, advanced before checking results. Wright leaned out, fired center mass, 5th German down. 5th round, Germans changed tactics, 2 simultaneous, 1 high standing, 1 low crawling. Wright shot low target first, closer threat. Then acquired high target, fired. Both down. 6th round, Germans tried suppressive fire, MP40 burst, 32 rounds, 9 hitting everything except Wright. Stone corner protected completely. Fire stopped, reload pause. German advanced during reload. Wright fired. Last German from 1st Assault Squad down. 7th round, 1 magazine, last bullet, Wright watched curve. No movement, 30 seconds. 60 seconds. Then German officer appeared, lieutenant, pistol drawn, shouting orders behind curve. Forward, attack. Wright aimed, 12 yards, center mass. Fired last round. Officer dropped. Magazine empty. Wright ejected magazine, clattered on stone floor, reached for spare magazine. No spare magazine existed. 7 rounds. 8 Germans dead at curve. Problem: 119 Germans remained. Wright had bayonet, 4 pressure bandages, 2 morphine syrettes, crucifix. Germans stopped attacking. 5 minutes passed, 10 minutes. Then withdrawal sounds, boots retreating, officers shouting orders. They pulled back. Wehrmacht doctrine: 30% casualties require tactical withdrawal. First assault: 8 dead, 3 wounded from grenade fragments. 11 casualties from 40-man platoon. 27.5% casualty rate. Close enough to trigger doctrine. Germans to reorganize, but they would return. And Wright had 0 bullets. Wright, nerve damage left hand from grenade concussion. Shrapnel didn't hit him, but pressure wave didn't care about luck. 3 fingers, pinky ring middle. Permanent tremor, surgeon hands destroyed. Medical evaluation 1945. Peripheral neuropathy consistent with blast exposure. Tremor amplitude 2-3 precludes surgical precision. Patient unsuitable for surgical practice. Wright had planned surgical career. John's specialty, 8 years training, all pointless. Post-war, couldn't hold scalpel steady. Couldn't tie surgical knots. Couldn't perform procedures requiring fine motor control. Simple tasks became impossible. Shaving, buttoning shirts, writing legibly, fork drifted at dinner. 1950, took job as medical supply manager. Warehouse work, no surgery, no patients, no hands. Tremor worsened with stress, worsened with cold, never improved. 60 years old, looked 75, hands shook constantly. Dropped coffee cups, spilled water, couldn't hide it. Wright slept 3-4 hours maximum, never solid, never restful, woke at 5:30 every morning, same time died. Dreams not nightmares, more like photographs. Eyes, German boots appearing around curve, grenade landing, 8 feet, 4-second fuse, stone corner, always stone corner. Trigger distant rifle fire, hunting season, fireworks. Backfires, body reacted. Heart rate 140, hands shaking worse, couldn't breathe right. Started avoiding July 4th celebrations, veteran events, anywhere crowds gathered with loud noises. January 1955, found in basement during thunderstorm. Wife discovered him crouched behind furnace, hands over ears, eyes open but unseeing. Hour passed before he responded. Children learned, don't wake suddenly. Don't slam doors, don't ask about war. Never joined VFW, never attended reunions, never visited Normandy American Cemetery. Dog tags, kept them 43 years. Found in pocket when he died 1987. Married Helen 1941, high school sweetheart, 2 children planned, normal life expected. Wright returned 1945, different, couldn't explain what, she couldn't understand why. Silences grew. Conversations stopped. Separate bedrooms 1947, she tried helping. He couldn't accept help, couldn't explain wounds without making them worse. 1952, Helen took children, moved to her mother's. Divorce finalized 1954. Wright lived alone next 33 years. Could be around other medics, they understood why hands shook, why July 4th stayed home. Why certain sounds hurt. Everyone else wanted hero story, wanted war explained, wanted medals justified. Wright had trembling hands and dog tags, an empty M1911. 2 marriages, 2 divorces, 3 children estranged until 1980. Math saved 23 soldiers, lost family, lost surgery, lost 40 years to 4 hours in French trench. Wright received Silver Star, July 1944, ceremony in England. Citation: Gallantry in action against enemy forces. Recommended for Medal of Honor. Battalion Surgeon Lieutenant Colonel, same officer who mocked Wright's concerns, filed recommendation. Detailed report: 23 wounded evacuated safely, German assault repelled, single-handed defense under impossible odds. Reason: medical personnel engaging in offensive combat operations. Questionable adherence to Geneva Convention protocols. Silver Star approved instead. Same week, Sergeant John Kelly received Medal of Honor for similar action. Killed 40+ Germans defending position. Standard infantry. No complications. Wright never complained. Put Silver Star in drawer next to his dog tags. Died March 3, 1987. Heart attack. Age 71. 1998. Medical Service Corps Historical Foundation discovered full story. Its original recommendation found in National Archives. German unit records found after reunification confirmed 8 KIA in single trench assault due to American strong point position. 2004. Medal of Honor awarded posthumously. Ceremony at Walter Reed. Children attended. Received medal and flag. 17 years too late. But stayed dead, and Wright's hands shook 42 years, and 23 soldiers lived because one medic held mathematics didn't work. June 6, 1944, 10:47 a.m. American forces regrouped, pushed inland, found Wright's trench junction. Found 8 German bodies at Curve, scattered weapons, blood pools. No American casualties, beyond original 23 wounded. Found Wright sitting against stone wall, empty M1911, trembling hands, 23 wounded soldiers alive behind him. Captain Company Commander couldn't process scene, asked, "Where's your backup?" Wright: "No backup, just trench." Walked to Curve, saw body positions, saw sight lines. Understood immediately. That day, 6 other medics attempted similar defensive actions. 5 died. 1 succeeded, different sector, Omaha Baker Red. Wright's position unique, geography perfect, execution perfect, psychology perfect, all 3 required, missing 1 meant death. Results: 23 wounded evacuated by 1400 hours. All survived. Returned to units within 2 weeks. 19 of 23 fought through to Germany. Official report buried Wright's action in generic medical personnel performed exemplary service under fire language. Standard Army bureaucracy. But word spread soldier to soldier. Medic held trench alone, pistol only, 8 Germans dead, 0 friendly casualties. Within 1 week, every medic in 1st Infantry Division knew story. Within 1 month, every medic in Normandy heard version. But battlefield medicine was changing. Wright proved something nobody wanted to admit. Geneva Convention was dead letter. Red Cross meant target. Medics had to fight or die. July 1944, Medical Corps issued quiet directive. Defensive measures authorized when treating wounded under direct attack. No publicity. No formal doctrine change. Just permission to survive. Medics started, carrying rifles, not just pistols, removing Red Cross armbands in combat zones, taking defensive positions, training in basic infantry tactics. August 1944, Medical Battalion training added defensive operations course. 40 hours, covered position selection, sight lines, choke points, use of terrain. Instructors never mentioned Wright by name. Called it Omaha Beach Defensive Doctrine. September 1944, casualty rates for medical personnel dropped 40%. More medics carried weapons. More medics understood geography. More medics fought back. By December 1944, Battle of Bulge, combat medics were hybrid role, treated wounded and defended positions, standard practice. Nobody questioned it. Korean War 1950-53. Combat medics fully armed. M1 rifles standard. Defensive training mandatory. Red Cross armbands optional in combat zones. Vietnam 1965-73. Combat medics identical training to infantry. Weapons, tactics, survival, medicine secondary to staying alive. Modern Combat Medic 2024, 68 WMOs. Combat training 16 weeks. Medical training 16 weeks. Equal emphasis. Medics expected to fight and treat. Geneva Convention technically still applies. Reality, everyone ignores it. Wright's Trench Junction started that transition. Postwar German records, discovered 1990s East German archives. Combat Report, June 6, 1944, 1400 hours. Assault on American positions, Dog Green Sector repulsed. 1 casualties, 8 KIA, 11 WIA. American defensive strong point at Trench Junction. Estimated strength, 1520 with automatic weapons based on casualty pattern. Later entries, June 7-8, updated assessment. Intelligence reports indicate American strong point, possibly single defender. Multiple prisoner interrogations confirm medical personnel present at location. Tactical reassessment required. June 9 entry. Previous engagement likely single American medic utilizing superior position and German tactical errors. Lessons. Advance reconnaissance mandatory. Grenade usage insufficient, single-file assault formations vulnerable to ambush tactics. Wehrmacht Tactical Bulletins, June 15, 1944, distributed to all units in Normandy sector. American medical personnel observed engaging in combat operations. Geneva Convention protections no longer assumed. Medical personnel to be treated as combatants. Fritz, interviewed 1954, U.S. Army Historical Division. American medics in Normandy were different than previous campaigns. Africa, Sicily, medics stayed non-combatant. Normandy, medics fought like infantry, defended wounded. This complicated our operations significantly, created hesitation. Reduced assault effectiveness. By late June 1944, German forces stopped targeting medics specifically, not from humanitarian concerns. From tactical reality, medics would kill you. Wright's 4-hour defense taught Germans that lesson first. Combat medic doctrine permanently changed. U.S. Army Field Manual 4022, Medical Evacuation. Medical personnel may engage enemy forces when necessary to protect patients or defend medical facilities. Language vague, intent clear, medics can fight. Training programs. Fort Sam Houston Combat Medic Specialist Course. 68W training, 16 weeks combat, 16 weeks medical. Emphasis, survive first, treat second. Modern battlefield medicine accepts. Medics are combatants. Pretending otherwise kills medics and patients. Geneva Convention, technically still binding, practically ignored universally. Red Cross symbols, rarely used in active combat zones, too visible. Make targets not protection. Historical consensus. Wright's defense at Omaha Beach demonstrated fundamental shift needed. Before medicine and combat separated, medics protected, non-combatants. After medicine integrated with combat, medics armed, combatants who also heal. No memorial for Wright at Omaha Beach, no statue, no plaque. But every 68W medic learns defensive tactics. Every TCCC, Tactical Combat Casualty Care, course teaches position selection. Every combat medic understands geography matters, sight lines matter, survival first, healing second. Died because doctrine said medics were protected. 23 soldiers lived because Wright ignored doctrine. That's the legacy. Not medals, not ceremonies. But medics alive because someone proved Red Cross armband means target, not protection. Information asymmetry still dominates combat medicine. Ukraine 2024, medical evacuation drones. Treat wounded without exposing medics. Same principle Wright used, survive to save. Modern TCCC, care under fire phase assumes medic under active attack. First action, return fire. Second action, treat wounded. 180-degree reversal from Geneva Convention, but saves lives. Principle hasn't changed. Enemy will kill medics if medics stay vulnerable, so medics must not stay vulnerable. Technology advances, principle remains. Lesson: Geneva Convention reflects ideal warfare, doesn't reflect real warfare. Assuming enemy follows rules gets you killed. Wright learned that June 6, 1944. Died teaching it. 23 soldiers lived proving it. Modern combat medics, armed, trained, dangerous. Because Wright held trench with 7 rounds and proved mathematics doesn't work when geography does.